cross-county rivalry between two undefeated teams here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Monroe and Porter Ridge set to face off here in Indian Trail, North Carolina, with Reginald Walker Jr., the former Penn State cornerback. I'm Darren Vaught. We're happy you're here. Reggie, it's a beautiful night for football. It's still a little steamy, a little hot before we can start saying it feels like fall. But this is a big-time non-conference game, the final for both of these teams before they enter conference play.
And what you love about it is because they're so focused on obviously what it's going to look like at the end of the regular season and doing something in the playoffs, both undefeated, as you mentioned, and both looking to give themselves that final test going into conference play. I think this is the perfect type of barometer for both of these programs.
Well, for Porter Ridge, the home team, we kind of know what to expect with them pretty well, right? This is a team that runs an option-style offense, but they like to be multiple in that regard. This is a dangerous club when it comes to return touchdowns. 4 pick sixes on the season.
Yeah, defensively they get after it, they ball hawk, and then they become athletes when they get the football. You love what they can do on that side of things. And then I think the quarterback position with Christian Myers gives them an element to push the ball down the field. Coming off a 4-touchdown pass game, you know his confidence is going to be sky high.
Meanwhile, with Monroe, this is a team that is accustomed to punching up, we'll say.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to go to bigger schools and compete with higher level competition, and most often they succeed in doing so.
Yeah, that number to rest your eyes on, that number at the bottom, 13 rushing touchdowns. Coach Sal is not afraid to run the football. I think that's a little bit of an anomaly. I think we see it at different levels of football right now. This team will ground you and pound you and then play great defense on the other side. They kind of squeeze you into making mistakes, and then they close you out.
A lot of intensity wrapped up in this one, and it begins in a moment when we return on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. The Red Hawks of Monroe will receive the opening kick in this cross-county rivalry between they and the Pirates of Porter Ridge. A couple of unbeaten teams playing their final non-conference game of the season. Monroe, a team that likes to run the ball. Porter Ridge, a team that also likes to run the ball, but pass off of the run is kind of the key for balancing their offense.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to describe both of these teams' offenses are they want to dictate to you how the game is going to be played off of their success in the running game. If they can continue to have success running the football, particularly on first down, to get themselves in advantageous second and third down scenarios, they're going to continue to run the football.
Both teams ready to take the field. Porter Ridge, of course, the home squad, has the band out on the field with them. Quite the scene here at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. The Pirates were revved up. We were down on the field during warm-ups. There was a lot of intensity, some emotion coming from both sides.
It really was. There was a lot of, as they say around the way, hooting and hollering, if you will, back and forth. I think we've got a chance for an excellent ball game tonight. We've got one band on the field. The other band is marching into the stadium. This is going to be a festive atmosphere. And I'm here for it.
Literally and in the way that you meant it.
Yes, sir. Fresh off of that bird getting back in town.
Yeah, you woke up in Dallas, Texas this morning.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what. The Star at Frisco, it's a sight to behold. The Ford Center. I want to make this comment. There was a high school football game at the Ford Center last night there in Frisco, and the scene was pretty good. Good football game down there last night. Hopefully another one here tonight back here in Indian Trail, North Carolina.
We expect the same as the crowd is here for it.
Yes, sir.
So to speak.
We're at the shipyard, baby. It's the Pirates' house, so they call it the shipyard. They've got a ship actually on the other side of the field from their bench as well. So this is, we're at the shipyard. There's the ship you see there, flags flying. No one manning it right now, though. I guess it's on autopilot. Or they're below deck. Someone's below deck. Pirates are below deck. There we go.
Some dark clouds did pass by during the pregame. A little bit of sprinkling, smooth sailing, hopefully, for the pirate ship.
There's a great sunset happening directly across from us. Sliding down behind the trees. This is going to be a good scene out here tonight.
Porter Ridge getting set to defend, where they have seen a lot of success this season on special teams too. I mentioned in the open, 4 interceptions returned for touchdowns. They've returned a kickoff and a punt for touchdown this year too.
I was getting ready to make that point because both of these coaches are very, very astute and they lock in on special teams as well. They understand its importance to the football game. I suspect in this game tonight, there will be a special teams scenario that plays a big factor down the stretch of this ball game. Ryan Latimer, the kicker, big leg, had a nice week last week. I believe he was 2 for 2 in field goals. Got a good leg. He can boot it.
Quay Knotts and Jaden Caudle back deep to receive for the Redhawks. And we are underway. Returnable from the 5. Knotts tripped up and is down near the 30. That's where things will begin for Monroe.
This is a Monroe offense led by Kagan Chambers, the senior, a lot of experience. He's seen this defense before, knows what to expect, knows how they like to get after people defensively. It'll be up to him tonight to make the right decisions with the football and then do his best to allow the playmakers to do the heavy lifting.
Spots at the 32, 1st and 10. Here's Keegan Chambers, one of the team captains, a senior quarterback, to lead the offense for Monroe. Here, Kendall, the back. He moves him from left to right. It's a give to Kendall. Shoots his way forward, and he's brought down after a couple of yards by Nykiran Chambers.
Going to hear that last name a lot tonight. A couple of Chambers on the Porter Ridge roster, and another, obviously, at the quarterback position for Monroe. Physical offensive line for Monroe. They want to lead with the running game. They'll spread you out, but they're still going to run the football.
Gain of 4 at 2nd and 6. Chambers to throw. Finds the receiver Bryson Simpkins. That's the tight end, a junior, 6'2", 205. And he gets 7 yards, just enough for the first down. That moves the sticks. And is another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together.
I like the decision there by Simpkins. Made the catch, saw that there were two defenders, just split them, put his shoulders down, and got a first down.
Chambers rolling, throws on the run, knots the catch, and is knocked out of bounds right at the first down marker. Will they give it to him? And that's Simpkins again, rather. So the big tight end getting very involved. Consecutive first down grabs. And the Redhawks rolling now into Porter Ridge territory. 1st and 10 from the 47. Handoff. Zion Lindsay trying to break free to the left side. Stopped up at the line of scrimmage. It'll go for no gain.
Lindsay just physical. Difficult to bring down. All 215, 220 pounds of him. He is difficult to get your hands on and bring to the ground. You're going to have to tackle him in a group. It's going to have to be multiple Pirates every time he gets the football to swarm and get him on the ground.
Kendall and Lindsay in the backfield with the quarterback Chambers. And in motion is Jordan Young, big-time receiver prospect. Chambers, hands off. This is going to go for some significant yardage, and Lindsay is down near the 30.
That's a great job by Kendall. Watch Namir Kendall, number 3, leading the way. Watch him right there. That block right there on the left side of your screen. Nice block that springs Lindsay down the field. Well done with this two-back offense in the running game.
17 yards on the carry, another first down for Monroe.
They say all the time when you're blocking, particularly in the run game, you don't have to do anything spectacular. You just have to make contact and move a guy off his spot.
Chambers looking to throw on first down. Nowhere to go. Runs with it himself and gets a few yards out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him. Looks like it'll be a 3-yard carry for the quarterback.
He had a lot of time there, and you started to wonder if that clock was hanging out in his head a little bit too long. He found a way, get out of there, get something positive, get out of bounds. Great decision there. Don't take an unnecessary hit. Just get what you can and get out of bounds.
2nd and 7. Took a moment there for Monroe to get the player into the huddle with the play call. Kendall and Lindsay again in the backfield. This time it's going to go to Namir Kendall. Off tackle right. Still pushing his way forward. The pile is moving with him. Wow. And that might be enough for a first down.
He got it.
Whoa.
How about that offensive line continuing to push right there? It looks like this thing is stopped up. Watch the offensive linemen come over and just put everything they can behind this. And I think they pushed their way up. They pushed their way to moving the chains. How about that team effort there? You know how sometimes you see in a box score, for rushing it says team? You just call that a team rush right there.
Yeah.
All those yards, give them to the team.
They needed 7. Maybe you give Namir a couple of them. The extra 5.
Yeah, you got to get one of each offensive lineman. There you go.
Chambers drops back out of the shotgun, looking to the corner near the pylon, and it is incomplete. Looking for Simpkins again. Now 3 targets for the big tight end.
Yeah, he's got the size as a factor, especially against these corners. Now you start dealing with some of these linebackers in the length, or if you go deep into the secondary against a guy like Ryshawn Elmore at 6'2", 6'3", at that safety spot, different scenario. But if you want to attack these corners, Simpkins' size, I think, is a factor and will be somebody they look for on the outsides early in this game.
Another 2nd and 10. Monroe's been well ahead of schedule on this drive. Still no 3rd down snaps for them. Fake handoff. It's a give to the deeper tailback and a big-time stop for Porter Ridge. So this will be the first 3rd down of the series for Monroe.
And they went under center this time. Little misdirection to the right. Perhaps if they had the quarterback keep that one outside, going to the right, he may have had a lot of room to run.
Kendall, no gain on the carry, so 3rd and 10.
You wonder how aggressive they'll be here, or if they keep it a little more conservative, maybe potentially thinking about 4-down territory, or potentially trying to put 3 points on the board in the way of a field goal.
Play fake, Chambers. Flushed out. He's got to go for it himself. A juke, and is knocked out of bounds. Short of the 1st down. He gained 7 there.
And I thought as he started making his way to the right, I thought Simpkins was in a good spot over the middle. If he had just stopped right there between the hashes, I thought he would have been open. Instead, he kept going with Chambers towards the sideline and sort of ran back into some coverage there. So I thought an opportunity they could have had in that scenario, unable to take advantage of it, and they'll go for it here on 4th down.
About 5 to go. Chambers, pass, batted away. James Dawson got those big paws up and incompleted the pass.
This is a great job by Dawson, but this may be the best thing that happened to Monroe there, because I think if that ball gets thrown, if it gets out there, Dylan Blakeney is staring down a pick 6, and we know what this defense has done in the way of that. I think he was staring at a pick 6. If that ball is not tipped at the line of scrimmage, there's a chance that it's going the other way for Porter Ridge to put 6 on the board early.
Instead, it's a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Pirates at the 15-yard line. Spreading it out, man in motion. First play's a handoff. Keisaiah Harris, they call him Ziggy on the carry. He gains 2 or 3 yards, and looks like there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, it came out right at the snap, so this might be a formation problem.
That is the case. You see the white hat signaling. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. They'll repeat 1st down, this time from their own 10, 1st and 15.
Late substitutions here by Porter Ridge offensively,
including the big man, number 77, Dawson, who made the 4th down play on defense.
And big number 92, Michael Oxener, coming in there late as well. They're going to have to burn a timeout here.
That's tough. You know, we talked with Monroe's head coach, Johnny Sal, in particular, about the differences between programs at certain levels, and Porter Ridge has a lot of guys who play both sides of the football.
Yep.
And again, they're undefeated. They have had a tremendous start to their season. A lot of those guys who play both sides also play special teams and can be credited with the success on special teams as well. But both of those big guys that we saw coming in, Oxner's the team's leading tackler.
Yeah, and the other piece of that too, right, is some guys are in sub-packages, right? They're primarily defense and then a sub-package on offense. Sometimes they're down at the other end getting coached up on something, and then that sub-package is called for, and that's when you can have some of those timing and substitution issues that you had there where you have to burn a timeout.
Now it's a deep snap. Porter Ridge running it with Rayshawn Elmore. A stiff arm, and he gets out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Call it the 20 with the spot. Rayshawn Elmore, most touchdowns offensively for this team. He's got 8 total.
I like this call here. It's a safe play when you're behind the chains, but an opportunity to get the ball into the hands of one of your better players, one of your best players in terms of playmaking ability. Give him an opportunity to potentially break one.
Gain of 10, so without the penalty, that's a 1st down. And they're going to continue with this formation. Elmore receives the direct snap, takes it himself, less successful this time as he stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that time Jordan Young came flying down out of the secondary. The all-everything prospect, the senior. He's got about 30-plus offers. This kid is quite the player. Had a chance to read about him earlier this week. Incredible story. think 4 younger siblings. He's the oldest. Just a great kid. Everybody speaks so glowingly of him.
Guy from Monroe who plays both sides. Here's Elmore on 3rd and 5. Tripped up. Short gain. It'll be 4th down for the Pirates.
It's a big stop right there for Monroe. Obviously, for Porter Ridge to get the stop backed up in their own end, right? The previous possession, they got a nice stop, and then they come back with the football, but Monroe's able to get the stop as well. So now it's a bit of a field position battle potentially in this game.
Ryan Latimer is the kicker for Porter Ridge. From inside his own 10, kicks it away. And it rolls out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line. A series apiece. Still no score. 0-0 at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called against Porter Ridge. So this has been walked from the 40-yard line just off the right of your screen all the way to the 45 into Pirates territory for Monroe. 1 series each for these offenses, both unsuccessful in putting points on the board. 5.5, not quite 5.5 minutes left of the first quarter. So a good break for Monroe as Kagan Chambers is under center, since Jordan Young in motion. Now it's a handoff. Amir Kendall, gain of a few, and that's what Monroe does, right? They'll take that.
I was getting ready to make a point about that run. For most people, it's an indistinct 3-yard run. What I saw was a high level of patience by a young back. He could have bounced that thing outside very easily. Instead, he cut it back up inside where it's designed to go to get what he could. I think that's a higher level run than most people realize.
The spot actually gave him 4 yards on the carry, so if you do that every time out, smooth sledding as an offense.
I played for Joe Paterno, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We'll take that all day.
Whistles after the snap to Chambers on 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start.
He'll back it up 5 more. With the penalty still well into the net positive for this series, though.
Speaking of positive, I can positively confirm that pretty much the entire side of the Porter Ridge bleachers are full. Our vantage point, pretty good. It is a packed house.
Good numbers over on the Monroe side as well.
The Shipyard is busy tonight.
Shotgun on 2nd and 11. It's a screen play. Here's Jordan Young, first touch of the game. No big deal. On 2nd and long, he gets a first down.
When in doubt, just go to the super recruit, right? Just look for number 6 and see if he can go make a play for you. He does exactly that. Just a quick throw, get it out there quick, and let him go to work.
12 yards on the catch and run. That's another first down, brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24/7. Let's get through it together. Monroe with a run on 1st and 10. Zion Lindsay powers his way ahead for a couple. It's a team that you saw the numbers as we came on the air, likes to run, runs the ball a lot. But Coach Sal feels very good about the depth of these running backs. We've already seen Nymeer Kendall and Zion Lindsay very involved. Chambers himself, as the quarterback, could run it a lot. They'll sometimes go on an end around or something tricky to Jordan Young. Now on 2nd and 9, Chambers airs it out, almost picked off, but it's dropped and incomplete. That was right there for Will Taylor.
Yeah, and that's where Chambers has to do a better job. This is a misread here. He's looking for Young outside, but if he looks to the inside, Bryson Simpkins is wide open, waiting for that opportunity. You'll see Simpkins, the outside receiver, number 12. He works up to the inside. He's open right there. The void in the zone is there. Instead, Chambers goes outside, looking for Young, and nearly throws an interception.
That had a chance to be the 5th pick 6 of the season for Porter Ridge as well. Now it's 3rd and 9. Chambers running left, throws with his right. Good find up the middle. That'll get the first for Monroe. And Jamari Clark still on his feet. Had to go down at some point because you only get forward momentum to some benefit.
And this is the same kind of read, and instead Clark starts working back towards the middle of the field as Chambers is working to the outside. Great job by Chambers, flipping his hips, getting his body right. Got a nice block from his back there to give him time. Flipped his hips, got that throw off, made a nice throw there to Clark to pick up the first down.
First 3rd down converted for either side tonight. Now it's 1st and 10. Chambers, a handoff. Lindsay, powerful runner, down the hash and inside the 15.
You were talking about Coach Sal earlier and his willingness to run the football. One of the things we talked to him about before the game, if you've been on any social media this week, you've heard the scuttlebutt about 2 high safeties look, the cover 2 kind of concept. They're getting a lot of that from Porter Ridge in this game, meaning 2 safeties over the top, minimizing the ability to push the ball down the field. Coach Sal said, look, you got to be patient enough to run the football. He's showing plenty of examples of that here in this first quarter.
Nymeer Kendall this time. Pushed at the line of scrimmage, breaks free, juts back up the middle, and is wrapped up but inside the 10. Another first down. It was 2nd and short. And now it'll be 1st and goal.
This is just a nice job. Just follow your other back up inside. Fight off a tackle. But look how he keeps working back to the middle of the field, understanding where his help is. I like these 2 backs. They are physical, not afraid of contact, and they're not looking to just run everything, bounce everything outside and run to the, as my high school coach used to say, don't just run to the water bucket. Go somewhere.
First and goal from the 7. Kagan Chambers under center. Y formation, fake give to the 1st. Now it's Zion Lindsay, and he's gang tackled shy of the line of scrimmage.
It's a good job by the Pirates defense, just stringing that thing out, forcing him to keep running laterally. Watch this. They just force him to run lateral, and then they cover it up with great speed. That's well done, excellent job. And it started with number 5 there in Ziggy Harris. Coming down out of that safety spot, a little bit closer to the box now because the field is shorter down here in the red zone.
It's a loss of 2. Goal to go from the 9-yard line as we approach the end of the first quarter. Still no score. A couple of very physical teams, both offensively and defensively. High formation again. Chambers fakes the handoff, rolls left, floats it up with his right. It's batted away and almost grabbed for another interception. Sawyer Ducey has been deemed by Michael Hurts, the head coach, as the leader of this defense, and he makes the play.
Yeah, Chambers just tuck this one and run the football. Neither of the receivers was there, You pump fake that and get Ducey up in the air. You see it right here. Ducey's the only guy that can stop him from getting to the end zone. Pump fake that football, tuck it, and run to the pylon, and you're likely going to get there and beat those other two defenders and get a touchdown.
Ducey, number 4, who made the play in black. A boundary safety a season ago.
Yeah.
The team lost its entire linebacker core, and the coaching
seven.
And the coaching staff had to make a decision. They asked him if he would take on that responsibility. Chambers with some room to run. Hit hard as he gets inside the 5 again, and he is down at the 1-yard line.
I think you let the quarter expire and make a decision on going for it on 4th down. Same play call here, but a pure design run this time. They probably just told him, run the same thing but keep it, and he gets down to the 1-yard line, and we'll see what they do, likely on the other side of this first quarter break.
The clock ticks down. 0 left in the first, zeros on the scoreboard. We've got a good one and a tough decision for Monroe when we return to begin the second quarter. Start of the second quarter, a 4th and goal situation from the 1, and it looks as if Monroe will go for it. No score through the first. Kagan Chambers under center. This is going to be that power I formation. Nymir Kendall, the back, in motion. It's a give up the middle to Zion Lindsay, and he gets in. Touchdown, Monroe.
They went with a little motion out to the left to see if they could move a linebacker just to find a lane, and that's exactly what they got. You saw there in the middle of that pile there's a linebacker that kind of flew out of there to get outside, and that's right where they ran the football and got in the end zone. It's a great job using the motion to influence defenders.
Brandon Najira on for the point after attempt. And it's good. So 7-0 Monroe with the first lead of the contest.
I'll tell you what, they might have gotten away with a delay of game on that extra point there. But the officials obviously didn't make a call there, so put the extra one on the board. But again, on this, watch the motion. See, number 2, Nykerian Chambers, he flies out of there because he's responsible to make sure nothing gets outside. And because of that, then you make the cut right where he was, and it's a walk-in touchdown. That's well read by Monroe and Lindsay in that backfield.
Another rushing score for the Red Hawks. 3-0 on the season. Officially, Reg, they've only given up 7 points all year.
Yeah, they are really good defensively, and they run the football, right? So they're already minimizing your opportunities because they run the football and eat up so much clock. And then they play really, really good defense. This is a program that is about playing that team concept to win football games.
Carlos Flores to kick it off. Low bouncer, Ziggy Harris's way. This is where he does a lot of damage. And there he goes, reverses field.
See ya.
Harris gets a block down the sideline. Another cut in. Almost tripped up, and he's in for 6. A kickoff return for a touchdown and a chance to tie it right away.
This is a great job. Makes one man miss early, and now right here, he's boxed in, but a great job coming back across. Now watch Elmore right here, number 7. Did an excellent job not blocking anybody in the back. And then Harris again, another cut. Great job, excellent vision. Used the speed to get down the sideline and puts it in there for 6 for his team. We talked about special teams being a factor. Hello, it makes noise here in the first half.
Second kickoff return for 6 on the season for Porter Ridge, and the extra point knots it up at 7 points apiece. Well, we had no scoring in the first quarter. We're 25 seconds into the second quarter, and it's 7-7.
Too many playmakers on both of these teams for us to see this one continue to see zeros on the board either way. You knew at some point a play would be made. This one right here by Ziggy Harris. Again, I want to point out number 7, Elmore. He's to the left of the screen. He's all by himself out front. He does an excellent job not picking up a bad block. There's one play where he kind of runs in front of a guy and just puts his hands up. Excellent job with this blocking scheme and the kickoff return group to find a way to get in the end zone. And that's one of those, Darren, the other thing about that, right? Lanes, you have to keep your lane integrity. When Harris got outside, it was trouble for Monroe because he had gotten outside of everybody. The lane integrity had gone away. The way you want to deal with that as a special teams coach, if somebody's going to return a kickoff against you, it's because they're going north and south and they split 2 guys and then they just outrun people. What you don't want is guys to go up the field on one side and then get to the opposite sideline because there's a lane integrity issue.
Such a dangerous player with the ball in his hands in that exact setting. And Ziggy Harris, we saw in the pregame, he's got a club on one of his arms, so he's playing through an injury that requires a cast of some kind, but if he can secure it, his legs still work just fine.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
This is returnable for Jamari Clark. Give me Quaint Knotts, bursts up the middle. A chance to answer back. Big block ahead of him. Jaden Cottle with the lead. And that is another touchdown on a kickoff return. But there's a flag way back here at the 34-yard line.
Be very interested to see what this call is because I saw what they were there where they threw that flag. I didn't see much. I want to see exactly what this call is. It's going to be holding. Jordan Young, number 6, was the guy, I believe, in that space. You see him to the right of your screen, right there around the 30-yard line. Didn't see much there. Maybe that got Simpkins. I didn't see that call there. Great job by Knotts. Cottle doing an excellent job not picking up a block in the back, but it's coming back nonetheless because of the holding call.
Let's see where the spot is.
We're going to take another look at this, looking for the call, and it might be right around the 35-yard line. There's a player on top, over top of another player, so maybe it was there. Didn't see exactly where that hold was, but
I think
not going to get a touchdown.
That was in the follow-up. There was a Monroe player. Forgive me, I didn't see his number. He was behind the Jordan Young play and block, and I don't know if maybe there was a peripheral here that made it just look. He didn't make a play on the return team guy or the kickoff team player there that went to the ground, but maybe perhaps from a certain angle it could have looked like it. Nonetheless, Monroe has the football. This time they hand off. Zion Lindsay bounces outside, makes his way back toward the middle of the field and spins down at the 45. 20 yards on the carry for Zion Lindsay.
And he says, feed me, but watch this block by number 6, Jordan Young, the wide receiver, right there. He's able to get his hands on Chambers and take him out, and Lindsay cuts right off of that block to pick up the first down. Well done. Another guy showing you, I might be a super recruit. I might be known as a safety, but even though I'm a weapon on offense, I'll block as well. Selfless play there by Young.
Another 1st and 10. Lindsay again with some room. Coughs it up, and Monroe recovers just past the 45, so this will go as a gain of 1.
He's fortunate there. There was not a big hit there, just kind of lost it. Great job putting the helmet right on the football there by Chambers, and Richardson there to recover it.
Redhawks do get a yard out of it, so it's 2nd and 9. Chambers bobbles it, tosses out. Simpkins bobbles and drops it incomplete as well. Now it's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Simpkins kind of the safety valve there. 3 receivers stretching the defense vertically, and then Chambers just kind of out there in the flat as a little bit of a safety valve or relief guy there, and just unable to bring that one in.
Monroe's offense has been ahead of schedule until they haven't been. The only other 3rd down conversion, or lack thereof, was on 3rd and 10. They need to gain 9. Chambers chucks it up the middle. Simpkins spins off of a tackle. There he goes, off to the races and tripped up near the 10-yard line.
Simpkins here, the outside receiver. He's just going to go up the field and come right over the middle of the ball. Great job by Chambers. Strong throw, and then Simpkins breaks a tackle, and then the speed nearly gets in the end zone.
Monroe moving quickly. Another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988-24/7. Let's get through it together. Goal to go from the 10. Kendall really pushing forward. It's about 9 yards, and it'll be goal to go from the 1 or 2 yard line. Looks like the spot is at the 1. Well, it is at the 2. Another great run. Nymir Kendall, I mean, he's got some deceiving slipperiness and strength that, as he listed, 5'11", 195. Not a small guy.
No, not at all. And then obviously Lindsay at over 200 pounds. Good tandem.
Chambers with Kendall. Hands off. Kendall into the end zone for 6. Another rushing score from 1 yard out for Monroe.
Great patience, understanding of the situation. They just run. He just works his way to the right side. There's nobody out there to set that edge. And it's a walk-in touchdown.
That's big for the Redhawks, considering they had the quick answer on the kickoff return wiped away. Now, if we were to ask Johnny Sell if this is a better scenario. I don't think he's much for turning down return touchdowns. But the extra point is through, and now you're up 14-7, having run some clock off, having beaten down this PR defense a little bit. You did it your way with this. So I don't know that it's better or the preferred route, but Coach Sal's got to be okay with it.
Yeah, I think what he is probably most excited about is his guys responded. There's a little bit of adversity in terms of the penalty, took points off the board, but his guys had the mentality and the mindset to go get those points back. I think if your coach hurts right now, you understand, and he kind of told us this, right? He told us this is a good football team they're playing against. They're fast and they're physical, but he felt like his team could match that. So far in this game, it's been back and forth. Look, Monroe's up 14-7. They've had the ball one more time. So we'll see what happens with this particular drive, but two teams so far in this first half that have had some success on offense and made some plays on defense.
Ziggy Harris, the slightly up man for Porter Ridge. He's at about the 20-yard line. Opposite him, Rashawn Elmore is going to have a chance to return it from about the 11. Elmore is speedy and slashy as well, but he's brought down from behind at near the 25.
Yeah, Joey Sheeran ran past the play and then came back from behind and made a big hit. And we're talking to Coach Sal about him before the game. This kid who transferred into Monroe this year, number 21 there, you see in the middle of the screen. And he said, Coach Sal said at one point he walked up to him and said, Coach, this is some serious, this is hard work. Then he said a couple of weeks later, he walked back up to Coach Sal and said, Coach, this is the best decision I made. So kid obviously happy, and Coach Sal talked about his athleticism, his versatility, and how he adds to this football team. They're excited to have him. Now he's in the middle of that defense at one of those linebacker spots.
Handoff on first down as Christian Myers gives it away on a short run. Emmanuel Chambers, his first carry of the evening, gets a yard and makes it 2nd and 9. We saw this sort of wildcat implemented the first time out for Porter Ridge, and Rashawn Elmore ran. That was ultimately stopped by Monroe. Now a more traditional set with Myers in at QB. The junior drops back, steps up, and is brought down for a sack.
Yeah, they just came with 4, and everybody up front defensively was able to win the matchup. And Jesus Harkin there with the sack, big number 52. I was just getting ready to say, it's an opportunity. You want to be able to, because again, you talked about that wildcat formation. They got their score off a kickoff return. At some point, you want to get Myers going and into a rhythm at that quarterback position. Hasn't really had a chance to do that. And so I think this is a good time to try to get him going. Unfortunately, a 3rd and long.
They need 15. It's a trick play, a little end around. And that's only going to get a couple of yards.
That's a great job by Monroe, staying home. Defensive staff fired up about that one. One of the more animated coaches you will find. Monterey Evans over there on that sideline.
Fourth and long, and Porter Ridge is going to punt it away.
I think Quay Knotts might be a little bit too deep for this punt here.
He's back inside the 40 on the other side. The ball kicked away high and a lot shorter than he was set up. You're right. A bounce near midfield. Good field position for the Red Hawks. As we continue the second quarter, 14-7, Monroe on top of Porter Ridge on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. A new series for the Monroe Redhawks, leading by 7 at Porter Ridge, cross-county rivals in their final non-conference games, respectively, of this season. Kagan Chambers, the Monroe quarterback, a screen. Jordan Young dashes up between the hashes and is stopped for momentum. Got him from 148-yard line to the next, so a gain of 4 to be 2nd and 6.
This is a critical drive here. We're in the back half of this second quarter. Monroe has a 1-touchdown lead and looking for more here. And they're obviously not in any hurry here, looking to take some time off the clock. They get up 2 scores going into the half. Could make things a little bit more difficult, obviously.
Play fake. Chambers goes out. Simpkins. Nice juke to get the first down and then steps out of bounds after a gain of 7. And it moves the sticks.
Simpkins again, kind of that safety valve, guys pushing down the field. They can just throw it out there to Simpkins. Simple pitch and catch and see if he can turn that into positive yards.
Another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together. Slight pause prior to this play from scrimmage. All right, all is well. We resume. First down handoff.
Look at Lindsey.
Zion Lindsey looked to be, at the very least, running for no gain. Stays with it,
right
keeps
there.
those legs churning. And he lost a yard and then gained 8.
The physicality again. 215, 220 pounds. He's got a strong lower body, just continues to drive those legs and sets his team up on a 2nd and short.
Again, he was back 1-2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, ended up with a 7-yard carry. So 2nd and 3. Amir Kendall's turn. Jukes his way up the middle. Positive yardage. Right around 3 yards. That might be enough for the first down. Still no indication. And yep, they're going to move the chains. Funny sequence there. The guy with the down marker was ahead of the rest of the chain gang.
He was.
So for a bit he was on top of the second chain, of course, indicating a first down.
He's going head linesman there on us for a second.
The 1st and 10. Chambers to pass. Goes deep to the corner and overthrows Jordan Young by a lot. Incompletion, no harm, no foul. 2nd and 10. Under 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. 3:58 on the clock.
Again, a 2nd and 10. We haven't seen a lot of these tonight for Monroe offensively. They've often been ahead of the chains. I would suspect we might see a run here to try to get some kind of positive yardage to set up a much more manageable and less predictable 3rd down play call.
2-back formation. Lindsey gets the carry, boulders through the middle, fights his way ahead. It's a gain of 8 or 9.
I mean, this is just physicality, great run. This is a Porter Ridge defense that is really good. Don't think for 1 second that this group is not talented. Right now having some issues with this running game of Monroe.
A long one on 3rd down. Kendall gets it easily, hurdles a man, and is into the end zone with a bump. That's another Monroe score. Second rushing TD of the night for Nymir Kendall, and it's 20-7.
Wow. They just work off the left side there. Got a couple of really good blocks. And then the speed to get to the end and scores. This running attack from Monroe has been really good all night long.
Redhawks kicker is Brandon Najira, on for his third extra point attempt of the evening. Knotts gets the hold down. Najira puts it through. It's 21-7.
How about the Redhawks in this rushing attack? They've come in here, been very, very effective offensively running the football, and not for the kickoff return touchdown allowed. This defense is pitching a shutout essentially. And you talked about it before. This is a defense coming into this game that had only given up one touchdown this season. They're still in that boat, having only given up the special teams touchdown.
Can make it tricky for Porter Ridge, right? I mean, we talk about the run attack of Monroe. If they get ahead early, especially with a team and the Pirates that is, well, they help themselves a lot with turnovers and creating those on passing plays. Monroe's not going to give them many of those.
I mean, Porter Ridge can't panic. They can't bail on their running attack because that's what they do best as well. But it looks like the kickoff return game is going to be their message in this ball game tonight as Elmore house call.
Rayshawn Elmore. Another kickoff return for score. And Porter Ridge is still in it, not out of it yet.
Special teams, again, a factor. Just a great job. Just following Ziggy Harris, and then it becomes a foot race. You're not catching Elmore. 6. That's a house call.
Extra point is good. And it's back within 7.
Who needs an offense when your kickoff return team can put 2 on the board for you?
Well, I had just begun to say prior to that play, Reggie, and I don't want to take away from the great effort by Elmore now, who has 9 total touchdowns already on the season.
Ball player.
For Porter Ridge. But these are the types of plays that in most cases, more often than not, they can keep you in a game. They're going to have to score offensively at some point, right?
You know, Darren, that goes – I'm so glad you brought that up. We talk about this a lot, right, with high school football. Sometimes you need a guy to just make an individual play that lifts the entire bench. That's an example there. The other thing, remember earlier this season, Mallard Creek down in South Carolina playing against a team out of Georgia. They kind of hung around. A kickoff return was the one thing they got late in the second quarter to keep them in the football game, and then they came back and won it in the second half. You just have to stay in the game, and sometimes special teams is the answer to doing that.
Way Knotts allows the kickoff to go out of the back of the end zone, a touchback. And the Redhawks will reset, try to answer again offensively. 2:57 on the clock with the methodical way that they like to operate a drive. That feels like it matters. That's a window for them.
I guarantee you the conversation is, We want to have the ball when the clock goes to 0. Whether we score or not, we want the football when the clock goes to 0.
First and 10 from the 20. Chambers immediately gives Zion Lindsay on the carry. Pushed backwards. Somebody lost a helmet in the meantime. And a flag after Lindsay's brought down near the line of scrimmage.
There's a lot going on in that pile there. I wonder if maybe somebody jumped in there late. Or potentially a face mask or some hands to the face there. See what the call is.
Personal fouls on both sides, so offsetting penalties. And they'll replay the down.
Sure, didn't see what it was there. 2 helmets came off, though.
And Michael Oxner, 92 in black for Porter Ridge, lost his helmet, continued to make the play.
Jesus Harkeen on the other side, the left tackle for Monroe, lost his helmet earlier in the play as well and continued to block. So maybe that's the call on both of those 2 players. And, of course, both had to go off because their helmet came off.
Yep. Now again, first and 10. Chambers throws and is off target. He was looking for Jaden Cottle. Incomplete. Makes it second and 10.
Yeah, just threw it a little bit behind him there. Got to be a little bit more accurate. If he throws an accurate pass there for Cottle, Cottle's got some room to make a play, and we know how quick he is, his athleticism. He makes a couple of people miss there, and it becomes a foot race. And he's one of those guys that you're willing to put a little bit on him if it's a foot race, because he can absolutely run.
Only 25 seconds have run off the clock. There's Monroe with 2.5 left in the second quarter. Goes with a screen. They do get it to Cottle that time, but he's tackled shortly after getting past the line of scrimmage.
I think that play call was 90% about trying to get a guy in space, but more than anything, we need a completion to keep this clock moving. I would suspect they're going to take their time running this next play, make sure they're down under 2 minutes, maybe even under 150 before they snap this football. They can take it all the way down to about 140 before they have to snap it here.
It's a gain of 2. Scoreboard says 39. It's 3rd and 8. Chambers escapes trouble, out of the pocket, running to his left. He's passed for the first down and jogs out of bounds.
Jordan Young, once again, number 6. Jordan Young. Watch Jordan Young as Chambers takes off to the right side of your screen. Jordan Young is the receiver getting the block right there that springs his quarterback to pick up the first down. That is, again, that's the second time in this game that your all-everything wide receiver, top 50 recruit in the country at safety, has given himself to the team to make a key block to pick up a first down in the running game.
New set of downs for Monroe. Chambers again. Breaks out of the pocket to his left. He scrambles out of bounds after a handful of yards, but a flag came out way before that, presumably a hold. An illegal block is going to bring it back.
See Jalen Cottle there, number 5, right there on the left of your screen. Walking a little gingerly there. 15-yard penalty on the play. Something to keep an eye on here as we head to the second half.
Backs it up, by a lot. 1st and 25 after the penalty. Chambers immediately goes up for the run. Back to the initial line of scrimmage.
Nice run there.
15, 16 yards. Looks like they're going to put him right at the original line. So a gain of 15 on the carry by the quarterback.
This is all clock management right now. I think that call was to make sure they kept the football here. 2nd down, you're about to go under a minute. This was about maximizing the clock for yourself and not giving it back.
Looking to throw on 2nd and 10. Chambers airs it out deep, looking for Clark. It's caught! And he steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Wow. This is a great adjustment by Clark because this ball is a little bit inaccurate, but what I do like about what Chambers did, he put it towards the sideline with the mindset of if his guy can't get there and get it, it's going out of bounds. Big time throw there to get the 1st down in plus territory.
1st and 10 from the 26, and Porter Ridge calls a timeout with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Be sure to join us on next week's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. West Side, the Rams coming from Anderson, South Carolina, a very good team that you and I saw at the Turf Kings Southeast Invitational. They were the hosts.
Cutter Woods.
To play the Warriors of Weddington, one of the better teams in this area for sure, the Charlotte area. 7 p.m. kick next Friday, a week from tonight.
That's 2 really good football teams. If you need a reason to tune in besides what Darren just told you, there's probably, probably 25 Division I football players that'll be on the field in that football game next Friday night.
A lot of them are good. you know the specifics a little bit better than I would.
There's some athletes on those teams, Darren. No H there. Just athletes. That's different.
Not quite through a half of play tonight in Indian Trail, and we've got a good one cooking. Big chance for Porter Ridge to come away with a key stop, but Monroe surging. Kagan Chambers gives to Zion Lindsay. It's up the middle for a few yards. And a timeout called by Monroe. So a 5-second runoff and a 4-yard gain for the Redhawks.
Obviously, after the big play, a chance to get more aggressive for Coach Sal and Monroe. And I think to add to it, when Porter Ridge called the timeout, I think that made them feel like that gave them obviously an additional timeout. And I think that gave them a chance to discuss how aggressive, maybe more aggressive they wanted to be. And we're seeing the results right now.
Two touchdowns for Porter Ridge. They both have come on kickoff returns. All 3 of Monroe's scores, rushing touchdowns. Porter Ridge gets the kickoff to open up the 3rd quarter. Chambers back to throw for Monroe. Goes deep, corner end zone. Too far for Jordan Young.
Loaded that one up, but there was great coverage out there defensively. Peyton Ryder over there in coverage, as well as Will Taylor. A couple of guys covering that thing up. Great step-for-step coverage there by Ryder. Porter Ridge playing off here, so underneath throws will be open.
The check down. Kendall with some room, a stiff arm inside the 15, bodies a man, gets inside the 10, and down near the 5.
Wow, great job here by Chambers. Just checks it down. Nice move there, makes you miss in a phone booth, and then the physicality down there on Peyton Ryder at the 10-yard line. Mr. Kendall, how are you?
Timeout Monroe stops the clock at 22 seconds. And now they're at the 11, I believe, is where they've got it. Or, the 6, I believe, is where they've got it marked. It would have been the 11, but then Kendall gave himself an extra 5 yards with the physicality.
Yeah, the situation happened where that left shoulder was lowered. Wow. That's another one of those, Darren. We talk about it a lot. The individual play, something that looks like a simple 2-yard dump off, run out of bounds. Instead, he's able to make a guy miss, make another guy miss, physicality at the end of the play, and his team's down inside the 10-yard line.
Goal to go from the 6. Monroe trying to punctuate a big first half. Chambers with it himself, jukes to the outside toward the pylon, and he sneaks in for the touchdown.
This is athleticism, because right here, when he goes up inside, 3 defenders there, you think he's done for. No, the speed to get outside, great vision as well, and he's able to get to the pylon and score.
With 15 seconds left in the first half, it is the 4th rushing touchdown of the night for Monroe.
He told us before the game, he's not afraid to run the football, and he'll do it all night if that's what he has to do. And you see again there, the 4 rushing touchdowns in the first half. I think it's easy for us in this booth to acknowledge that he meant what he said.
I think, Reggie, we said it earlier, but in this matchup, that approach, that identity as a team, hindsight's 20/20, but it sure looks like that is an advantage for Monroe against this Porter Ridge squad in particular, with their propensity, their ability to intercept passes and create scores off of that.
Yeah, keep the ball out of the air. Keep the ball away from those playmakers on the back end of this defense. Win at the line of scrimmage, shrink the football game, and just kind of see if you can just continue to squeeze your opponent until they start making mistakes in the second half.
28-14. Brandon Najira 4 for 4 on PATs tonight. We said it, a bunch of interceptions for Porter Ridge entering this game, 4 returned for scores. They've only had a couple of small windows to do damage that way in this game, and it's just because Monroe has dictated so much of what they've done with the run.
They really have, and that's where, again, what we've seen from this special teams unit, keeping you in the ball game. If you can get something here, even if you can get a big return and perhaps kick a field goal, understanding that you get the ball to start the second half, if you get a chance to double up here for Porter Ridge, you got a chance to have some momentum in that third quarter early on.
Both deep men on the return for Porter Ridge have kickoff return touchdowns. And they'll kick to an up man. Will Taylor kneels it at the 25.
And Ziggy Harris wanted the football there. He wanted to play that one on the bounce.
Or get a pitch or something.
I think if you're Porter Ridge here, you just go ahead and get to the halftime. There's no need to risk a potential deep ball here. I think they're going to look to just kneel it and get to halftime.
We'll see. Christian Myers has not really been at the reins of an offense much tonight, so maybe a chance to get him to get some short completions under his belt, get him into a rhythm. Goes with a play fake. Dropping back, being chased, and airs it incomplete. He was looking for Harris.
Yeah, try to run a little bit of a screen, I think. And it just got blown up. Penetration came too fast.
No lead and Clark.
7 seconds remaining in the half. PR again gets the kick to begin the third quarter. Now trailing by 2 touchdowns. Myers hands off. Harris, a burst up the middle and almost to midfield. It's a 25-yard run. And a timeout called with 1 second left on the clock.
51 yards from the end zone.
Porter Ridge has some big playability.
I think if you're going to push the ball down the field, I would look to overload one side and then try to get Elmore isolated by himself opposite all of the traffic. And if you can get the ball to the end zone, throw him a jump ball one-on-one, and maybe he can go make a play for you. And I would suspect Jordan Young at safety is going to be very, very deep, if not a too-high safety look. And there they go to the too-high safety look. Both safeties back at the 20-yard line, so out of your screen to the left. Both safeties.
Myers wasn't quite ready for the shotgun. There's the horn. Clock hits 0. Hit as he throws. And it's intercepted by Quay Knotts. Monroe with the punctuation going into halftime. Myers slow to get up. I mean, he got rocked as he let that one rip. And that will do it for the first half of play. Monroe 28, Porter Ridge 14. Another half to play here in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Hey there, everyone. Good Friday evening. It is halftime. I'm sure you're watching a great game. Jeff Taylor alongside Jack Taylor. We're going to see you tonight for the Blitz. All the scores and highlights from the Queen City and the surrounding areas. A little bit different tonight.
Yeah, it's not going to be on TV. It's going to be right here where you're watching this game as well. All of our social platforms, our
Don't shut down the
websites.
computer.
Yeah, we're going to be right here after that's done because we're going to be showing on CW Bristol Race.
Bristol Race. First race for the CW. They're going to show tonight's race and the final races of the the rest of the season. So you can go over to the CW, WCCB, watch all the Xfinity racing from now until Phoenix. So it's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, but not tonight because tonight you're going to be watching the Blitz online instead. We've got some cool games going on. Like obviously, like this one, it's going to be a huge game. But then it's conference play starting up for most of the area if it hasn't already started. So some of the big ones that you're going to be going to.
Chambers, West Mech, and then I've got Mallard Creek, West Charlotte. And the thing I love about those, and we get into conference play, but when you get into conference play, you also get into old school.
Yeah.
When you think about Charlotte and you think about the Queen City, you think about football. I mean, Chambers. You talk about West Mech. You talk about West Charlotte. You talk about Mallard Creek. You're talking about some powerhouses. So that I love to see it when we get a conference play. Everything starts to seem a little more important. Games are a little bit tighter, and you see the atmosphere start to amp up.
Absolutely, and especially when you talk about the Queen City 3A, 4A. It's one of the most hotly contested conferences around. And tonight you've got two 3A versus 4A matchups in Mallard Creek, West Charlotte, which last year came down to literally the last play. Yeah, it was the last play as West Charlotte was able to stuff Mallard Creek to get a big win on the road. Now they got to come to Beatty's Ford, Mallard Creek on the road at West Charlotte. And then Huff North Mech as well. That's going to be a big game for that matchup. Two teams that know each other very, very well. North Mech with a new head coach. Huff, they've got Deshaun Baker and the program that he's continuing to build up. So it's going to be big matchups there. And then you've also got Chambers West Mech, like you were talking about. It's Chambers' first home game this season.
Which is wild. We're week 5, which is hard to believe number 1 anyway. But yeah, to come in, so they'll be fired up.
Yeah.
The fans will be fired up. They always put on a great show. So it's going to be, like I said, it's just you get a conference play. It gets stout.
It means more. So definitely make sure to catch all the action that we've got inside the Blitz. We'll have the scores, highlights as much as we can for you from around the area. And like we said, that's not going to be on TV. It's going to be on streaming.
10:30.
Yep. Still 10:30. Still the same time.
10:30. And if you can't get to BahakelSports.com, anywhere we have our social media for Bahakel Sports, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, check that out. You can get it there. And we'll see you tonight right after this game. Don't put the computers away. We'll see you at 10:30 for the Blitz.
Through 2 quarters of action here at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, Monroe at Porter Ridge, and the Red Hawks with a 28-14 lead. And it's been due to the running game for Monroe. 4 rushing scores. This the first of 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns for Porter Ridge. Ziggy Harris there.
Got to be great in all phases of the game. This Monroe football team, excellent running the football between Kendall and Lindsay, number 3 and number 4 respectively. Those 2 guys running the football well. Chambers as well had a touchdown run in that first half. Physical running game has been key, but we always talk about this is a 3-phase sport. Special teams a factor. Porter Ridge staying in it with their kickoff return game. This the second of 2 in that first half. This time it's Elmore.
88 yards on the return for Rayshon Elmore. Kagan Chambers, the quarterback for the Red Hawks,
How about that run?
finishing the half with a 6-yard rushing score of his own. Again, 1 of 4 in the first half. That's been all the scoring for Monroe, whereas Porter Ridge needs to get something going offensively. The offense hasn't been out there much, but they'll begin the third quarter with a chance to receive the kick. Monroe 28, Porter Ridge 14. Halftime rolls on when we come back on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let's get through this together. Be sure you join us a week from tonight for the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week from Weddington. The Warriors play host to a formidable foe from South Carolina, Anderson, South Carolina to be specific. The Rams of West Side against Weddington. 7 p.m. kick next week on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Here's a look at starting quarterback for Porter Ridge, Christian Myers, who was picked off to close out the first half. With Reggie Walker and Darren Vaught, just about time to begin the second half of action. Monroe, 4 rushing touchdowns on their way to a 28-14 lead through a half.
Yeah, they were dominant in the first half, but the one phase that they were not, right? Great in offense, great defensively. Special teams is where the question came in for Monroe in the first half, allowing 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. And that's essentially what has kept the Pirates in this football game, is the third phase of football, special teams with those 2 kickoff returns.
Ziggy Harris and Rayshawn Elmore with the kickoff return score apiece. Amir Kendall has been dynamic out of the backfield for Monroe, including this one from 22 yards out, the longest rushing score of the first half for Monroe. And then Rayshawn Elmore, 88 yards to the house. That's special teams, that return game, keeping Porter Ridge in it. They will begin receiving the opening kick for the third quarter, down 2 touchdowns. Johnny Sal told us, the head coach for Monroe, you see him there in the vest, told us prior to the game, it's a team that likes to run the ball. That was obvious by the numbers, but we had to talk to and hear it from him. He said they're not afraid to run. They love when they get ahead with the run.
Absolutely.
Because it really paints Porter Ridge into a corner. That's what they've done.
Yeah, they want to force this team, if they're going to try to come back, they want to force them to have to throw the football against an experienced secondary, as the 2 teams realize they need to flip sides here. But they want to force Myers to make plays against the secondary that includes Jordan Young as sort of the maestro back there on the back end, to go along with guys like Quay Knotts as well at that cornerback position. It's an experienced group. It's a deep group in the secondary. They want you to try to test them by throwing the football to get back in the game, and then they're going to try to go after it and create turnovers.
You mentioned Knotts. He got that interception that closed out the first half.
He also had a return that would have been a touchdown, came back for a penalty. A factor in that first half.
All right, so now that we've got the teams on the right sides of the field, Brandon Najera will kick it away. Harris and Rayshawn Elmore back deep to receive for the Pirates. And again, they kick it short. Picked up by James Antweiler. Jukes his way through a couple of guys and is dragged down out of bounds near the 45. Looks like they're going to give him the 47.
Yeah, they're going with the short directional kick. They don't want to kick it to either of those guys deep, either Harris or Elmore, who hurt them in the first half. Nice adjustment there. That's the first adjustment we see as the second half starts.
The chess match begins. Monroe has really keyed in on, from the opening kick, taking away certain strengths of Porter Ridge. They take away another one with that.
And Myers has got to be like almost shell-shocked at how little he was on the field in that first half.
Because they returned a couple of kicks, I mean, he missed out on a couple of offensive series, hands it off, and gets battered after the fact. Ziggy Harris makes his way forward, but loses a yard.
Yeah, Yoel De Leon, you see him, number 20, coming off that defensive left side. That's who they're reading. He comes right for the quarterback, so they make the decision to hand the football off. Great job there by Myers, but it caused a big hit.
Now 2nd and 11. And this feels like a first quarter for Myers. Gives to Harris again. Squeaks by, around to the outside, a stutter step, and his foot was out of bounds prior to getting hit there, but either way, it's a first down for Porter Ridge, and he's inside the 35.
Yeah, Harris feeling energized and activated, but walking back to the huddle there with a little bit of a limp. If you're Porter Ridge, you hope he's okay. It's a nice play. Gets up inside, then works to the outside, the vision. And then look at him stop on a dime right there. But unfortunately for him, that left foot goes out of bounds.
Big time run, extends the drive for Porter Ridge. Harris exits for the slight injury. That's Emmanuel Chambers with just his second carry of the game. Loses a yard, 2nd and 11 on the way.
Looked like a motion to Harris on the sideline. And he pointed Chambers to remain in the game. Emmanuel comes out for Nakiran Chambers.
Ziggy Harris again already playing hurt. He's got a cast on that left arm. Rashawn Elmore, the man in motion. They're going to go with the option, but flags and whistles halt the play.
Yeah, and the other frustrating thing about that is now that play has been shown.
Yeah, they haven't gone to that yet, so that's burned.
That's right. Got to pick the right time to call it if you're going to go back to that now. And Elmore looks like he's not 100% right coming off the field here.
Elmore, sort of a skipping limp back to the sideline. He has come off for this play. Now they're going to run the same thing just for Sawyer Ducey, who breaks out to the outside, patiently cuts inside of a block and will only get a yard or two.
Defense swarming. He's able to turn the corner, and then all of a sudden, Jordan Young and company from that secondary come up, slow that play down.
Now it's 3rd and long for Porter Ridge. This has taken a quick turn for the worse for the Pirates.
This is where you need Myers to be able to execute a big throw in a big spot.
Hit as he throws. It's up the middle and dropped, incomplete.
Braden Smith doing a nice job out of that linebacker spot. Playing the seam route there. Gets that right hand in there, knocks that ball away. Forced the incompletion.
Myers was looking for Keenan Sullivan, who works as a running back, wide receiver with this Porter Ridge team. Also the backup quarterback has played some pretty significant snaps in Myers' absence early in the season. Now 4th and long, and Porter Ridge takes its first timeout of the second half with 9:31 left in the 3rd.
I think this timeout was potentially a personnel thing. I'm sure maybe they were missing some guys on this punt team. You see Ziggy Harris in that cast there on that left hand, number 5, right in the middle of your screen. See that wrap he has on that left arm. See there, Johnny Sowell on the left with the vest, and then the coach with the white hat there motioning with his left hand. That's Jalen Sowell, his son. So a family affair. You've also got the 2 Goins on this staff as well. Father and son combo. So much of a family atmosphere there at Monroe on this coaching staff.
That's the way Johnny Sowell likes it. Pretty cool to have that continuity. As the punt
shanked
high and off to the right. It takes a couple of Porter Ridge bounces. Good news for the Pirates. Bad news, they have to give away possession, down a couple of scores against Monroe on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 15, 1st and 10. And they again will go with the run. Nymir Kendall extending plays, getting back to the line of scrimmage.
I think this might be a face mask here.
Kai Henriquez is the Porter Ridge player down. So a couple of things here. The penalty and the injury. And we'll get both teams going back to their huddles.
It's going to be a face mask. Take another look at it here. It's working to the left, and then as they come back, there's the face mask. You can see it right away. I think that's number 4, Sawyer Ducey. They got on the face mask there with that left hand. Just an unfortunate play for him. Try to reach out, make a play, and got a little bit of the face mask.
Enriquez getting checked out by the trainer, one of just 3 freshmen on this Porter Ridge roster.
Now it looks like they're trying to, looks like maybe they're looking to stretch that leg out, so maybe it's just a cramp here. You hope whatever it isn't serious, that he can get back in this ball game.
That's the head coach, Michael Hertz, right there with him.
Great guy, really cares about these kids, and he is all about what those kids do on a day-to-day basis and loves to try to pick up wins here at what they call the shipyard. Love that, the shipyard.
Well, they've already, so the marching band has the ship that we showed in the first half, the structure up here to the top left of your screen. They've already deconstructed the ship. That seems like something you want to keep up as decoration. I mean, it's not Raymond James Stadium where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play, but
I'll just go, in the Navy they call that decommissioning the ship, so maybe they just decommissioned it. There you go.
It's more respectful. Zion Lindsay on the handoff, stiff arms 2, a third, pushes him out of bounds to the 30-yard line. Again, back to the initial line of scrimmage. Okay, so Porter Ridge has perhaps figured something out when it comes to stopping the run, because that's a 0-yard gain for both Kendall and Lindsay.
Well, I think the main thing is they just got to run to the football, and that's something that Coach Hertz and his staff preaches. Run to the football in bunches, right? You've got to swarm the football. Multiple guys show up to the ball. That's number 1. And then number 2, part of that is you can put more guys in the box and force Chambers to have to open it up and throw the football. But right now, the too high safety look, it's a chance to run the football or throw it underneath.
On 2nd down, Chambers goes to Jordan Young at the sideline. He's wrapped up after catching at the 41, and that's where they'll spot him. That's enough for the first down. A 10-yard reception moves the chains.
Young with the easy completion, just gets up past the sticks, turns around and shows his number and gets the first down.
Another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together. 1st and 10 from the 41. It's a handoff. Kendall, stutter step, breaks out of the backfield, gets past the 50 and tumbles forward. 11 yards on the carry. That's going to be a first down.
And what you like there, Darren, by Kendall is the awareness. He kind of leaned to the inside before he went down to make sure he didn't step out of bounds to keep the clock moving.
And I beg your pardon, they spotted this shy of the line to gain. Well, on the side that the chain gang is, it looks like he was a yard short.
And now they'll
All right,
move
okay, now they move the sticks. All right. So we had it right. We just got to be more patient. Under 8 to play now in the 3rd. Chambers on the fake give. A step inside, darts outside, and dives along the hash. Nice job to get even a medium gain there.
Absolutely. And Monroe still snapping the ball with around 20 on the play clock. You'll wonder if they'll get to a point to where they let it run down a little bit more. There's now another injured player down for the Pirates.
It's James Antweiler. Senior tight end and linebacker that's been very involved tonight on both sides of the ball.
I wonder if, again, this is a situation of cramps. But they're working on both legs, and it's a pretty humid night out tonight. You've got obviously the Porter Ridge players in dark uniforms, but a couple of the guys that we've seen go down are guys that have the longer socks on as well. So you wonder if that's contributing to, if this is cramps, if that is part of the factor here. Pretty warm night. I think it's easily up over 80 degrees at kickoff for sure.
Since the sun has gone down, it's improved it a little bit. Temperature looks to be in the 70s, but feels like 80-ish, so some thick, heavy air. Weiler to his feet. Hopefully going to be okay. Gain of 5 on that last run for Kagan Chambers, so 2nd and 5. For the Trips wide receivers, Jordan Young on another screen. The flag came out before he even got the pass. For now, it's a gain of 1. We'll see what the penalty is.
I think it's going to be an illegal formation. I'm not sure they had a receiver officially on the line of scrimmage in that formation, so this is going to come back. It's going to be an illegal formation penalty here.
It's a good catch by you. I obviously was paying attention to the 3 receivers stacked up there.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you have to go over and ask the official to acknowledge that you're on, or he's going to throw that flag.
That's why a lot of the times you'll see the receiver
point
into the direction of the official, and then they get the head nod and the okay.
Correct. And that basically means even if you're not, I will not throw the flag because I've acknowledged that you're on the line of scrimmage. You see there, the inside receiver steps back. Jordan Young on the outside stays on the line of scrimmage.
Chambers looking for Young. Chucks it up into the air. Young jumped prematurely, and it's bobbled and incomplete. It was right to Peyton Ryder, but Young, a good second effort there to prevent the interception.
Young's got a lot of speed. They've done a really good job on him tonight, mainly with that off coverage. They try to run a little bit of a stop and go. Young slowed down, but Ryder stays over the top and just plays center field a little bit on that particular throw and is able to be there for the knockaway. That's well done by Ryder, not biting on that fake, because if he jumps that underneath route and they go over the top to Young, it's a foot race that Young's likely going to win if Ryder jumps that underneath route.
3rd and 10 for Monroe. Just 1 third down conversion in the first half. This is where they've struggled when they get behind the chains. Chambers up the middle. It's caught.
Clark.
Jamari Clark receives it for the first down, a 17-yard gain.
I tell you what, Chambers has been really good on these tonight. The roll to the left, watch him flip his hips and make a strong throw over the middle through traffic to get that first down completion. That's a big-time throw.
And that's not easy, right?
No.
When you say he's rolling to his left, remember he's right-handed.
Correct.
So he's
got
running one way,
right,
throwing with the other. He's got to square up the torso differently.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. That takes a lot of work in practice to get that right.
Another hard run up the middle for Monroe. And again, a carry that did not look like it was going to get them much because of the effort and maximum effort by Zion Lindsay and his blockers. He gets 3 or 4 yards.
Lindsay is so difficult to get on the ground. They just want to get him on the ground. Haven't had a lot of success at times with that.
2nd and 7. Chambers fakes the handoff, keeps himself, lots of room to go. A hesitation, jukes to the outside, and he's wrapped up. Plenty for the first down. Now we're nearing a goal-to-go situation.
This is interesting. Watch the left tackle pull to the right. So they run a little G scheme to the right, but Chambers pulls it and goes back out the backside where there's no one home to set the edge. He's able to turn the corner and pick up a first down. Big-time run there by Chambers. Nice read as well because he's reading that guy. Everything goes away. He pulls the football and takes off out of the backside. That's well done.
1st and 10 from the 12. Under center, Chambers fakes one handoff, gives the next. Nymeer Kendall right back to the center of the field and into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown.
This is well done. They go with the fake to Lindsay left, and then Kendall comes off that right side. Nice blocks on the edge, and then the nice cut back late to get in the end zone.
Touchdown runs of 222 and now 12 yards for Nymeer Kendall. He makes it a 3-score game with under 5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Brandon Najira with the extra point attempts. And it's through. He's now 5 for 5 on those. And it's a 21-point Monroe lead.
Wow. It's been quite a performance offensively in the running game and then defensively for Monroe in this game. We talked about the special teams issues in the first half. Those 2 kickoff returns they gave up for touchdowns. But other than that, they have been absolutely lights out in this ballgame.
So here we go. Najira is out for the kickoff. They've made that adjustment. Normally the kickoff specialist is Carlos Flores, number 27. We saw him just a couple of times in the first half. That was on those 2 kick return scores. So I think it's pretty easy to anticipate they're going to go to an up man again and prevent Ziggy Harris or Rayshawn Elmore from getting another return snapped off.
I'd certainly stay away from those guys, obviously, at this point. They've already shown you what they can do.
Najira goes to Antweiler, who just came back in. This is his first play since the injury. He's immediately taken out of bounds, so short return. This is an opportunity for Porter Ridge, though, right? When you have success in one aspect of the game, it creates opportunities to make the other aspects easier.
Right.
And this has shortened the field for them to begin their last couple of drives.
Absolutely. They've got to get Myers into a rhythm. We talked about the lack of opportunity he had in the first half because of the ball control offense of Monroe and as well as their defense was playing, but also because his team and those 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
their own 40. Myers on the play fake, almost intercepted. It caught Quay Knotts by surprise.
I think they're going to get Yoel De Leon for a late hit here, roughing the passer. Take a look. He comes off the edge. Myers makes that throw, and he's got an easy 2 steps, and he does not pull up. That's going to be 15.
It's a big swing for Porter Ridge. Moves it from their 40 to the other side of the field to Monroe's 45.
And those are the kinds of penalties that you can't have. You can't do those types of things to keep teams in the ballgame.
1st and 10. The pitch to Elmore, and he is pushed out of bounds, not quite to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 2 or 3.
It was well handled there defensively by Monroe, as Quay Knotts there talking to the official.
Porter Ridge, we haven't gotten to see a lot of their true offense, but they do like that option play.
This is an unbalanced formation here to the right. Tight ends on, one of the receivers on, and then 2 of those guys are off.
Myers drops back. Conventional pass. Floats it over the middle. Elmore. Hard step to the inside and then draws a face mask inside the 30.
They may have found something with this formation because they have numbers. So they go 3 receivers outside of a covered up tight end as well.
So a horse collar tackle is the case. I saw Elmore's head whip. It looked like maybe a face mask.
Yeah, I think they got Braden Smith right there for the horse collar, right in front of the officials in open field.
First down for the Pirates.
Pirates picking up yardage without the clock moving. That's also a key here on this drive with those penalties.
Into the red zone now. They're at the Monroe 13, and Myers with a look toward the sideline to get the play. Here's that same formation. Myers escapes the pocket, trying to get to the edge. It's past the marker for the first down and out of bounds.
There was a penalty flag thrown in the back of the end zone. You wonder if maybe there was a hold or a pass interference.
A defensive holding.
Yeah, holding in the secondary, and I think it was one of those situations. Quarterback starts to run. Defensive back, receivers start to go into their scramble drill. Defensive backs panic. They grab a hold of a guy because they don't want to lose track of him in that secondary. A penalty-filled drive here on the Monroe side of things, but fortunate if you're the Pirates. Now the key is, can you take advantage of it and get in the end zone?
First and goal from the 1. Pirates go back to that wildcat formation. Snap goes to Rayshon Elmore. And he's stopped at the goal line.
It's a big stop.
Rayshon Elmore on the carry.
Looks like they're going to stay with this formation, stay with this personnel group.
Elmore runs for the corner, and he's in for the touchdown. The first offensive score of the day for Porter Ridge.
It's a great job here by Elmore. He just essentially outruns Sheeran, number 21, off the edge. Sheeran does a great job shedding the blocks, but he's just a bit too late to get there in time to be able to bring Elmore down before he gets in the end zone. Just the second offensive or defensive touchdown allowed for Monroe this season.
Ryan Latimer, his third PAT, puts it through and makes it 35-21. So back to a two-score game as the Pirates try to fight their way back in this second half on their home field. Be sure to join us right here on Bahakel Sports next week for our game of the week. Weddington, the Warriors playing host to the Rams of Westside out of Anderson, South Carolina. Very impressive squad we saw with our crew with the Turf Kings Southeast Invitational, 7 p.m. The kickoff next Friday night, a week from tonight, right here on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Big heavyweight fight coming next week. Oh, should be a good one.
Haymakers left and right.
Big-time team in the North Carolina high school football landscape versus a big-time team in the South Carolina landscape.
A couple of teams that expect to compete for state championships this season.
The Ridge kicks it away. Quay Knotts watches as it is a touchback.
By the way, I'd be in favor of a, Carolina's champion. Take a state champions from North Carolina and one from South Carolina and have them play one more time. Crown the champion of the Carolinas.
We do have the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas
Yes.
again here on Bahakel Sports coming up in December.
Looking forward to that.
North Carolina versus South Carolina.
Yes.
I think there would be no one better to do that game.
I tell you, we're going to get a chance to find out who's doing that game, who's going to play in that game, I should say. Next week, the Shrine Bowl selection show on the 29th. Looking forward to that one as well. Get to hang out with you again, Darren.
And again, like you said, we get to find out who's playing. We
That's
don't
right.
know. People think we know. We don't know yet. First play from scrimmage for Monroe is a handoff. Zion Lindsay dragged down to the ground, and a flag comes out.
Face mask. Had a pretty clean first half, and now all of a sudden, the laundry. That's going to be a hold, actually. I thought there was a face mask there at the end of the play. But the laundry has been out in full force here in the second half. Umpire right there, right on top of it. Redhawks really hurting themselves with penalties here in this third quarter.
Low snap, picked up by Lindsay. Makes something out of nothing. Back to the initial line of scrimmage he goes.
How about that? The awareness, didn't panic.
Erases the penalty, but now it's 2nd and 10.
Keep an eye on the left tackle there, number 77, Russian. Got up a little bit slow there. Might be something to watch here the next couple of snaps.
Out of the shotgun, Chambers loads but doesn't throw. Now running. Nice juke to get inside of a man, and then he runs out of bounds. Gain of 5.
Nice job by Chambers to get something positive there.
Third and 5 for the Red Hawks. And an incompletion. Monroe's players signaling as if they want a penalty, but no flags.
I think you've got to punt the football here. You can't afford to give this ball back deep in your own end. You've got to punt the football and hope your defense can make a stand. And if you're the Pirates right now, you feel really good getting the ball back still in the third quarter. A chance to make this a one-score football game.
Pirates have seemingly figured out how to execute at least enough versus the run to make some stops. Now it's about capitalizing on that. Ziggy Harris back to receive the punt, just past midfield.
Porter Ridge secondary has done a nice job throughout this game, really, particularly on deep shots down the field.
Flores' kick bounces. And an opportunity to down it inside the 40. Not bad for Monroe. But again, for Porter Ridge, the field position battle has played largely into their favor in the second half.
Yeah, it really has. They've had some really good starting field position on their drives here in the second half. Another one here at the 39-yard line. Again, they go down and they're able to get a touchdown here against this defense. This ball game starts to feel a lot different going into the fourth quarter than it did at the beginning of the third.
Willing to bet it would start to sound a lot different as well with those rowdy students in attendance.
Yeah, I think the Shipyard all of a sudden would get real loud.
Myers with the pitch. There's Elmore flipped over at the 40, just a short gain of a yard or two.
Quay Knotts comes flying uphill out of that secondary from that corner spot with the big hit, goes low, cuts the man down. That's a nice play. Good short tackle there.
Monroe has to hurry to get a man off the field. They do so successfully.
Might have been a missed opportunity for a free play there for the Pirates.
Harris from one side to the other. Myers, quick release. Throws to Elmore. Trying to cut around and get to the other edge, and he's dragged out. That's Quay Knotts again making the play, but he's had to be pulled back by teammates.
Yeah, they were a little hand fighting here, and Elmore was trying to get him off. And Knotts didn't want to let go, and then they both realized, hey, wait, we're both out of bounds. The play is over. Good job, good control, self-control by both guys.
On first down, pass batted backwards and incomplete.
Nice job. If you can't get there, stop and get your hands up in the air. Well done.
That, by the way, is Keneas Rushing, who you mentioned earlier had exited with an injury when he was playing on the offensive line. Seems to be okay. 2nd and 10. Myers gives, Ziggy Harris pushes forward. Casual 4-yard gain.
I like the run call there just to keep the defense aware that you can go to the run. Don't let them start to load up, drop guys out of the box against that pass. Just keeps them playing honest on that end of the on the field.
3rd and 6 to gain. Porter Ridge 2 for 5 on thirds in the first half, 0 for 1 so far here in the second. Option play, Elmore gets to the line to gain and is ripped out of bounds.
Tell you what, got to give Myers a ton of credit. He is waiting till the last possible second to make that pitch, forcing the defenders to commit.
And Elmore appears to have come up just short. So now a 4th and 1 for Porter Ridge. So the 3rd down woes continue for the Pirates.
Elmore's going to go into a wildcat type formation here. Take the snap, likely going to be the football in his hands. The question is, which direction is he going, left or right?
The first time and the second time, right? We've seen him reverse the field a couple times already on some big plays. 4th and 1. Rayshawn Elmore goes immediately right off tackle and gets there for the first.
That's a big first down. Now inside the 35-yard line, close to the 30, and they'll go into the 4th quarter with the football.
One quarter left. It's 35-21. Monroe with the lead over Porter Ridge, but the Pirates looking to make the comeback on their home field on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Please come to the press box, 316-829.
14 points, the lead for the Red Hawks of Monroe. Porter Ridge has brought it within 2 scores. They're looking to make it a 1-score game as we begin the 4th quarter here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Reggie Walker, Darren Vaught, glad you're with us. 1st and 10, it's a handoff to Ziggy Harris.
Ziggy Harris on the carry.
Go for a short gain, just a couple of yards. Myers keeps it himself this time, lunges ahead, and he's got the first down. Not quite to the red zone for the Pirates, but a new set. And this is as good as they've looked on a drive.
Yeah, they really do look good on this drive, running the football, mixing it up. I like Myers' decision-making. He's done a really good job running with the football, making those decisions talked about him in the option game and the late pitches as well. He's playing really good football.
Myers, quick release, trying to go outside, but overthrows Sawyer Ducey. Completion makes it 2nd and 10.
Just kind of, that one got away from him just a little bit there. Perhaps a missed opportunity.
Great resiliency for this Porter Ridge club, especially they get a touchdown here, bring it within a score. And in motion, Myers off of the play fake. Zips it ahead, but tipped incomplete.
That time it looked like Monroe was going to come with a blitz and checked out of it. Myers was prepared for it.
Incomplete. He was looking for Will Taylor, who had 2 touchdown receptions last week. It's been tough for really anybody but Rayshawn Elmore and Ziggy Harris to get involved offensively. Myers again fakes a handoff, spins away, goes outside and shoved down to the ground.
Jordan Young comes up from that safety spot. He's back deep. He sees this ball coming, and he immediately detonates to make that play.
Fourth and long for Porter Ridge here, as it looks like they're going to bring in the field goal unit and attempt this. Right at 40 yards. Within range for Ryan Latimer. Clean hold. And he puts it up and through. So it's not back within a score, but points managed by Porter Ridge.
That might have been good from about 50. Big leg there. Nice job. But again, the way your defense is playing in this second half for Porter Ridge, you take that because you expect that you can get one more stop here and get the football back. Then if you go down and get a touchdown, now we got a ball game.
And again, in order to win this game, you're going to have to stop the run.
Absolutely.
If you do that successfully, Monroe's not going to be able to leak that clock the way that they have.
And they've done a good job in the second half. Monroe's been a little bit sloppy. Some penalties we've seen on the last couple of drives as well that have forced them behind the chains to make it even easier on this Porter Ridge defense. They've done a great job in the second half shutting that running game down.
Returnable from the 1. Quay Knotts shifts to the outside. A flag behind him. There he goes down the sideline. He had one erased due to a penalty earlier. Breaks free and is out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
The coaching staff not happy. I think they know this one's coming back on the Monroe sideline.
And Knotts got out to the track and is now hobbled, again, hopefully just cramping, but it's a hold or a block in the back against the return team.
Great job by Knotts, just works up the field, little slide to the outside, and then he turns the corner, and it's all speed. And he's picking him up and putting him down the sideline, gets a block there, a little help. You hope he's okay. Looks like they're working on that left leg. it's that time of year too, Darren. Still September, still pretty warm when the games start. Cools off, but not quite fall-like temperatures. And that's where you get some of these leg cramps and different muscle injuries because of the hydration.
Man, the spot for Monroe is at their own 15.
Wow.
Including the play that erased the kickoff return touchdown in the first half for Quay Knotts. That's 180 yards erased due to those couple of penalties. What else? Monroe running the football.
In the first half, Monroe was able to respond to that kickoff return coming off the board with a drive for a touchdown. Can they do it here? The confidence by this Pirates defense is up of stopping this offense, so you suspect that they feel pretty good. They got them backed up. They're going to be able to get the football back to their offense.
Zion Lindsay with 5 yards on the carry just now, so 2nd and 5. We'll swap out some personnel.
The other thing, Darren, as well here, field position. You get a stop, you're likely in plus territory if you're Porter Ridge with the football.
From under center, Chambers, hands off. It's a big run by Braden Smith. First down and then some, and the Red Hawks out from deep within their own territory pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is well done by Smith. They fake it to the right, and then he's just working off to the left. He's got a lineman pulling in front, just follows that thing around there, turns the corner, big pickup there for the first down. And again, with a 2-score lead, I think they're going a little bit fast here on offense. I would be a little bit more deliberate, try to snap this ball under 10 on the play clock.
It's out to the 37. Give to Smith again. He's bottled up right away. Trips over a man after a yard gain. Smith hadn't touched the football yet. That just, again, it speaks to the depth. He's plenty able as he's going to get a breather in place of Jamari Clark. So maybe Amir Kendall's in there. I started to say maybe a passing play here on 2nd and 9. With Kendall back in, it's hard to say.
Coach Sal told us, he's like, I love my depth at the running back position, just like I do in the secondary.
It's a give for Kendall. Boulders through a man. First down. Now he's inside the 35 and down near the 30.
And this is just a great job. Individual effort, runs through a tackle there, and now the speed, and then runs through another tackle there. Just the physicality of doing this throughout the football game has impacted this defense. The other add, Darren, I noticed on that particular play, they let that play clock run down all the way to about 5 before they snap the football. So being a little bit more deliberate, and they get the big gain, a double whammy for this Pirate defense.
Kagan Chambers is under center. Again, Amir Kendall leisurely works his way through the hole and leaps forward for a medium to above average gain.
Again, they snapped that thing at about 5 on the play clock. Really starting to milk this clock. It's going to become more and more of a factor here down the stretch.
Monroe's got this lightning and thunder thing going with Kendall and Lindsay. Lindsay a bit more of a power runner, but don't sleep on Kendall's intensity with which he hits the hole. Here's Zion Lindsay. Lowers his shoulders, booms through the line of scrimmage, and it's a gain of 4. That's enough for a first down. It's another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together. The field goal was a positive for Porter Ridge, but if Monroe can milk the clock already over 3 minutes and get a score here, I mean, that is really asserting themselves. Zion Lindsay through the middle of the line of scrimmage, twirled down at the 15.
This running game, you see that clock in the background, just chewing up this clock.
About to hit 4 minutes on this drive alone.
Yeah, and the Pirates now just taking time out. They're just trying to stop this clock and see if their defense can bow up and get a stop here.
Again, Porter Ridge, it felt like the field goal was the right thing.
Yeah.
Monroe is doing the best thing right now for them, which is just methodically making their way upfield.
The field goal was the right thing because it was a 4th and 12. If it's a 4th and 3 or 4, I think you probably go for it there. But because it was such a long 4th down to convert, that's, I think, what went into the decision to kick the field goal. I think your question there is fair. What does that look like if that 4th down distance was a little bit different?
Yeah.
I think they would probably have gone for it there. And then to your point, Monroe offensively doing the job, coming back the other way.
Yeah, and with the way Porter Ridge had started to bear down in the second half,
absolutely,
it's fair to assume you've got a shot at stopping them, and job's not done yet for Monroe. On second down, Lindsay takes it up the middle. Another short gain. This won't be enough for the first, and it becomes 3rd down.
But you wonder here also if Monroe and Coach Sowell is even thinking, you know what, if we end up having to kick a field goal, we're well within range here. And then we go back up 2 touchdowns, we go back up 14. We're okay with that, especially if we can get this clock down under 5 minutes, which it likely will depending on when they snap the football here before they have to make a decision on 4th down.
3rd and 2.
Lindsay's the short up man, if you will.
It's Kendall. Through, basically untouched, and into the end zone. His 4th rushing touchdown of the night.
They go with the fake to the left, and then they pull Yarkeen around from that left side, number 52, to lead the way, and nobody touches Kendall. Walk-in touchdown. Probably the dagger they needed.
Still 5 minutes to play. Jira's 6th extra point of the night, low lying, and he pulled it no good. His first miss, but still a 17-point lead for Monroe over Porter Ridge. another rushing score for the Red Hawks of Monroe. Six of that variety on the night. And now they're up 17 as Brandon Najira kicks it off. Up man on the return. It is Antweiler, who's brought down past the 40. So again, good starting field position for Porter Ridge. They have not really regularly been able to capitalize.
I think we're going to see, obviously, a situation here where they let Myers open this thing up, and I would suspect guys like Elmore down the field would be options as Jeremiah Lindsay down there on the field.
Lindsay was in on the play at the point of contact, so this is a little scary.
Let's hope that young man's okay. Looks like they've rolled him over now. Head coach Johnny Sowell now out there.
Very least back to the sideline where he can get some more attention from the training staff.
Walked off under his own power.
Now back to Porter Ridge's offense, down 3 scores. Myers almost picked off. It was tipped up into the air as Joey Sheeran jumped it en route to Rayshawn Elmore.
Yeah, Sheeran just playing the curl lane, and Myers kind of double hitched there before he let that one go. It allowed Sheeran, who was just reading his eyes, to get underneath that one. Broke quickly on it, unable to make the interception there.
Second and 10 for the Pirates here. Myers on the option, pitches it, and it rolls onto the ground. Picked up by Keenan Sullivan. Lucky break for Porter Ridge if they're going to hang in there in this one and keep Monroe from getting possession and putting a bow on it.
Yeah, that's just well done by number 51, Radisson Richardson. Came off that edge and blew that play up.
Now 3rd and 4. PR 0 for 3 on thirds in the second half. It's a give up the middle.
I think he got it.
By Kieran Chambers. Bulleted forward and gets it by a yard. First down.
He got by Jalen Lindsay, who fortunately is back in there. We saw him down after the kickoff there, but back in there on the field.
Another first down brought to you by 988lifeline.org. Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Let's get through it together. And Myers brought down in the backfield as they were attempting another option. That's De Leon.
Yeah, De Leon has just been an absolute terror coming off the edge throughout much of this game. Finally gets home there. His speed off the edge has been problematic for this offensive line at times tonight.
Right there with y'all. He's right there.
Myers fakes the handoff, takes it himself, and wrapped up and brought down to the ground by Zion Lindsay. He was spinning right into it.
Yeah, made the spin move here trying to avoid one and got out of the way of Joey Sheeran, but was met there by Mr. Lindsay.
Now behind the chains, 3rd and 15. A jump pass, batted down, incomplete. It'll be 4th and long.
Yeah, Jalen Lindsay once again active there. Great coverage, gets that right hand in there and knocks that football away. That is well done.
Two and a half minutes remaining. Porter Ridge just the one timeout. I mean, Pirates are going to go for it here, but especially if Monroe takes over. That's pretty much it.
By the way, that's Jeremiah Lindsay. I said Jalen that time there. It's Jeremiah. I'm slipping.
It's all right. The junior's had a big impact here in this 4th quarter.
I had to make sure I let his parents know that that is on me and no one else.
Tell him over there, y'all. Tell him over there.
And now Porter Ridge calls its last timeout.
It looked like they were going to be in a situation where they were going to get a delay a game. So to avoid that penalty, get the timeout.
So 2.5 minutes. Porter Ridge with no timeouts. Trying to keep the slim chance a chance at all on 4th and 15.
Right now, if you're Monroe, you just want to stay solid. It's a 4th and long. Don't give up a cheap first down here. Get the ball back to your offense to go ahead and close the football game out.
On 4th and 15, Chambers received it in the backfield, gets it all the way to the 37-yard line. That's the exact point at which the line to gain is.
Yeah, I thought he got a fortunate spot here. Didn't seem like, couldn't tell exactly where he was when he got hit near the sideline. Wasn't sure if he got there. I think he got a good spot there. Well, picks up the first down.
Yeah, they put him at the 36, so that is a gain of 16. Longest 3rd down conversion of the night for Porter Ridge. Granted, that's only their 4th overall.
Again, this offense didn't have it a lot, particularly in that first half, but the kickoff returns kept them in it.
Throw up the middle, squeezed by Ziggy Harris. Shakes a man, gets inside the 25, and reaches forward. He's got another first down.
Right now, this Monroe defense, tough angle there, a couple of missed tackles. Got to stay disciplined down here in the stretch run of the game here. And Porter Ridge continuing to try to put points on the board here.
Chambers in motion. Myers airs it. Elmore has it tipped and incomplete. That's Knotts again on the coverage. Quay Knotts has been all over the place defensively.
Yeah, and he was basically 1-on-2 there. Goes up against Elmore and knocks that one away. He was the only guy on that side against 2 receivers and found a way to make a play.
Makes it 2nd and 10. Stops the clock, 1:43 to play. 17 points again. It's a 3-score game. Porter Ridge has no timeouts. Chances for a comeback as slim as they get. Myers overthrows on the pitch. Harris scoops it up. Still fighting for yardage. Pirates into the red zone with that carry. Now at the 19-yard line. Another 3rd down for Porter Ridge. This time 5 to gain. Myers has to move, but doesn't move quickly enough. Richardson again, wreaking havoc.
Zion Lindsay's going to go out of this game. Looked like he came up uncomfortable there after that play.
So it's another 4th and long. Incomplete. Turnover on downs.
Myers got drilled. On the backside, Harkeen, you see him there, 52, bearing down. What a hit. Wow. Myers is up and coming off the field, but he is hurt. He took a couple of shots tonight in this game. That kid is tough. That kid is absolutely tough. He's taking some punishment throughout this football game.
14 seconds left. Porter Ridge out of timeouts, so that all but does it. Monroe's going to be able to kneel it out and advance to 4-0 on the season. It'll give Porter Ridge their first loss of the year. So that does it. A final score of 41-24. The Redhawks of Monroe establish the run game, assert themselves early, get ahead, and stay ahead. Porter Ridge with some help from special teams, a couple kickoff return touchdowns, but just not able to put it enough together on the offensive side, not able to stop the run enough defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said it there. Not able to stop the run defensively. Special teams, I thought, played really well, kept them in the first half. Unfortunately, in the second half, though, this Monroe running game ended up being the difference.
Redhawks 41, Pirates 24. Monroe comes out undefeated. Thanks for joining us on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.